one night I went to sleep. Just like every other night I went to sleep. So I found myself in the dream. I woke up and I was in front of the place where I live. It's at the entrance. I saw this light. Okay. This light, it just like appeared like right there in front of me. It was like shaped in like a square. This might not look like a square the way I'm trying to make it a square, but it's like boom, boom, boom. Like it was like a shape of a square. And when I saw the square was so white. It's like the light that was coming out of the square was so bright that it was shining. It was affecting my eyes. Like it was really hard for me to see. The first thing that came through the square of the light was like a shape of like just like almost like this, like the scripture. The first thing I saw was like it went really fast. It was like flash like that. It's like boom, 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 like that. It was really fast. It was like a face of a man, but the man was like a face of the man just showed up, bam. And then from the face of the man, it goes into like a bird shaped like thing. And then it was like turning into the like a lion face. It keeps switching and switching and switching. But every time those things were in the light, in the square of the light, every time they switch, it helps me because it blocked the light from blinding my eyes. And I just like, wow, that's amazing. Switch. And then it was like pause, like into the lion. The lion was so big, like when the lion just raw, like it raw, and its mouth, the square was huge. The square was like really huge. Like I can't really say the size of the square, but it was like really huge. It was just really, really big. Um, and like it raw, like when the lion, like once the lion came back, it just kind of like stayed, like the lion just like, I don't know how many turn it took before it just like paused on the line. But I know that every time it did that switch, like I said, it brings such an ease to my eyes, because it was like blindsided, beaming light shouting coming out of that square that I saw. It was like the square wasn't like in the sky. You know how sometimes some of the people of old would say the sky open, and they saw the spirit of the. No, I didn't see that. It was like I'm looking at you right now, and then in front of me is like a big square. It was like that, like right in front of me was like a square, and it was like bam. I was like, whoa. And the line like raw. I mean, I just can't explain that. Its mouth is like open where you could see inside of his mouth, and his teeth were so big. It looks like golden lion. It was like roaring. And then like as it raw, I didn't feel any effects from the raw. What I saw was just the image of what he was doing. And as he raw, I mean, his head alone took the whole square. It covered the light beam of the square. And then like as it raw, it I don't know how this happened, but he came out like with his like this, like bam with his hand, and then bam, and then he just pulled himself out of the square. And when he pulled himself out of the square, here's this giant lion, and I don't know what happened to the square. I think the square disappeared or something, because once the lion was there, it's just like I didn't see the square anymore. And it was like there were lights, but it wasn't the beaming light. It was like a natural light that was there, like a natural light. It was at nighttime. I know it was at nighttime, but for somehow, some way, it's night, but it was really like you could see everything type of thing. And I don't know, like you ever seen like an eclipse happening? Like, I don't know. I can't really, that happens you during the day. I don't know. But at night, it just felt like the area was just bright and out of nowhere, but the scripture says that when the end comes, God, the glory of God will be the light. We won't have the sun or the moon anymore. So it really felt like that. I can't say that the moon was so bright because I didn't see any moon. It was just bright. The light, the square light gone, but I could see the full view of the lion. And the lion is like, I mean, it's the most friendliest thing you could ever meet. And it's just raw. And I was like, oh my goodness. And he was rawing so much, but the sense of him, like the feeling of being with him felt like he was a friend. Like even though he was so big and massive, I wanted to play with him. It's weird, but I wanted to just play with him. And I just like, he was roaring, so like he wasn't like aggressive, but when he roars, he just like, it's just the most epic thing you could ever see. And I just kind of like move myself on the side of it because I was in front of it. And every time it roars, it blows my hair out of the way. Like it's just like so much, like that's the first time I feel like in effects once he came out of the square and he's like on the earth standing, because the square was like in the air, but not up in the sky, was like in front of me. But when it came down, it's four legs, touch the ground. And so I walk with bring my little self on the side of this lion, and we're walking, and he felt like a friend. He felt like a friend that I've always known. Honestly, it felt like a friend I've always known, and I wanted to be next to him. If there was anything else I could do, was to just be right next to this lion and walking with him. He was walking straight and I was walking right next to him. The thing is, nothing moved around the complex. There was nobody outside. There was nothing. It was just me and him walking. And as he walks into the complex, and I'm walking right next to him, and we're walking, like I said, it's like walking with a friend. Like I really felt like I knew this lion, and it's the Lion of Judah. This thing walked with so much authority, and he walked so like he took his time walking, and he made sure like I was right next to him the whole time. Like he'll turn and do like stuff like that, but like when he's like raw, and it's like poof, like that. Like every time he roared, it was like that. And I was like, wow, just so amazed. I was so amazed. Like almost as if like I was a kid again and just wanted to play with him. But he wasn't trying to play with me. He was just like, he wanted me to be like, I don't know what he wanted, but he wasn't playing, but he was gentle as well. He was gentle. It's like almost like it felt like a father. It felt like a friend. It felt like a protector. It's like every image you could have of something protecting you, he appeared that way. He's a lion. He didn't talk. He turned every now and again to look, but then his focus was going into the complex where I live. And he's walking. I mean, he was walking really slow, like that, step by step, step by step by step. And every now and again he roars. And it's like every time he roars, I'm like it's like you want to shout hallelujah. Every time he roars, like roar. It was like, and he came like right in front of my house. I mean, he knew where I live. I didn't have to tell him where I live. Actually, if anything, he led me to my own home. So we got in front of the house. And then when we got in front of the house, and I'm standing right behind, like beside him near his leg area, me and my little self standing right next to him. And he's in front of the door. Next thing you know, he roared, and the door is like, bam, open. The door opened by itself. Nobody. And I'm like, okay. So he walks in first. When he walks into the house, when he came in the house, he roared again in the house. He roared again in the house. He roared again in the house, in the living room. And when his body, I don't know how his body fit into the living room, to be honest with you. How it's like, it feels like half his body was outside, inside at the same time, but nothing broke. Nothing break, nothing shake. Everything was in the place where they're supposed to be. And he walks to the front door, and he's in the living room, and I walk right after him. I have upstairs in my house, as you can see behind me. He walks on the stairs, make it to the second floor. And when he got to the second floor, he roars again, and he stood right in front of my door, right in front of my room, and he roar and he roar and he roar. And after he did those few roar, I was still right there next to him, and he turned around to go back down the stairs, and he roar again, like his body went from this house. It looks like it goes outside as well because it's so big, and then it walks back outside of the house. And when it walks back out of the house, outside of the house, I remember just thinking when he was upstairs, my room was just as it was when I went to sleep. It's like the Lord came into my house to visit me. But my spirit met the Lord at the entrance of my complex. And the Lord came. When he went upstairs, I was still in my room. My husband and I were still sleeping. The house was sleeping. The kids were sleeping. This might be really way off your mind. But when you sleep at night, your spirit leaves. Your spirit leaves because your spirit looks forward for you to go to sleep. So it can go to different places, go to heaven, enjoy himself with God, whatever he has to do, whatever he does. And when he comes back, you don't remember a thing. Sometimes you have a dream, you don't even know what you dreamt about. It just sometimes, our mind just completely erase or hide stuff from us to protect us from things that we cannot handle. So when the lion and I was upstairs, I knew that the room, I was still in the room. My husband and I, we were sleeping. So if the door, he roared, but the Lord is such of a just God. The door never opened. But he roared at the front of the door, and I was right there with him. He roared a few times up there because I don't know what would have happened. It would have been weird if he roared and the door opened and my husband and I see me sitting next to the lion. That would have been weird. I don't know if I could have handled that. I don't know if my mind could have handled that. But I don't know God's thought. God's thought is higher than our thoughts. So, but I know that I was there and my husband and I was sleeping and the kids were sound asleep. He didn't disturb any of the doors. He didn't disturb the kids. Nobody woke up. The only people that were awake in the home was me, which was me in the spirit or my angel, whoever it is, because we all have so many angels. One of our angels look exactly like us. So it could have been my angels, but it could have been my spirit too. Who knows? But when we left the room, came downstairs and went outside. Again, he goes out first. He's such of a gentleman. He goes outside first, and then I follow him. And it felt like I was walking with a friend. I wanted to walk with him all night if it took. And wherever he laid, I would have just lay right next to him and possibly put my head on his gigantic leg and just go to sleep with him. It was just really such of an amazing lion, so powerful, but yet so gentle and so loving. And that he just kept me right there next to him. I didn't come too far in front. I was by his leg walking. And every now and again, he turned his huge head like that to see me. And he's walking. So I guess I might say a lot of details about where I live, but when we went outside, I was following him. And he walks, there's a walkway. We have pools and stuff like that. So he was walking in the direction of the pool. And I just, I follow him. It didn't matter where he was going. I was so drawn to him. I wanted to be with him. He felt like a friend, it's just like a friend, more like a friend than anything, like a friend, a protector. I mean, he was just really peace, peaceful, the sense of peace, love, all that all together with the lion. And I'm walking with him. And as I'm walking with him, we get to this top of the hill. And for the first time, he stopped. Even though he was walking really slow, he stopped. And when he stopped, I was trying to figure out why he stopped, but he stopped. So I don't know what he's doing. It's whatever. I stopped next to him, the same spot I was. I never left that spot. For some reason, we walk, I'm in the same spot. We stop, I'm in the same spot. So he stopped. And when he stopped, he lay his body down on the side, sideways. And I was wow, how is he? He's so big. But he lay himself on, but when he got on the hill, I forget to say that he roared again. He roared. Once he went outside, he roared at least 3 or 4 times. He was roaring. And every time he roared, it felt like everything, I don't know, it might be city, it just everything get blown away, completely. I don't remember seeing any dirt. To be honest with you, I don't remember even seeing cars out there. I didn't remember seeing anything, but just the homes that are usually around. And everybody was everything was quiet. Everything was still. Even the trees didn't move. Nothing moved. It was still. It's life stops type of thing. And so he's outside. He's on top of the hill. And he lay his body down. And when he lay his body down, I wanted to lay with him. But for some reason, I was just standing there waiting for him to get back up because I don't know what's going on. When he lay down, next thing I know, there's a white horse that came out of his body. It lifted up out of his stomach side. It jumped up like a white, beautiful horse. I mean, beautiful horse, like a white horse that just jumped out of him and then took off just like that. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. Like, I don't know how he was able to hold that, but that was awesome. That was amazing. Like, just the horse was just beautiful. And the horse coming out of him was like, okay. So, and then like it came up, ran, took off, like jump up, gone. And then I saw a brown horse just jump up out of him again. I was like, wow, the brown horse jump up and then boom, took off. And then the third horse was a black horse. The black horse jumped up. And then I was like, okay. And then in the black horse jumped up, but it didn't like take off. It just jumped up and then ran into one of my neighbor's house. So I didn't feel good about that one. I didn't feel good about it. I felt terrible to see that it went into the house. And then and the lion, he was just laying there, chill, like laying there, like nothing happened, just laying there. And I'm waiting for something to happen. And then I came out of the dream. I woke up.